What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro Duel video. The new Mermail Link monster has been revealed, and I've read, at least as soon as the moment when this card was revealed earlier today, I've read it, back then I've read it a couple of times, and I was like, okay, this card seems fine, but it's not on the same level as, you know, Crystron Link, for example, or the Metal Foal Link monster. It's fine, it's okay, but it's not something utterly disgusting. I'm not really sure if Mermails did really need this card. I mean, other decks like, or archetypes like Frogs or Paleozoics, for example, can definitely make use of this card, maybe over Master Boy. Well, both this card, the Mermail Link and Master Boy, both have their advantages, of course, but Mermails, well, it's just giving them, it gives Mermails kind of a tool that, you know, acts, or it lets you play during your opponent's turn. It has three effects. Its first effect lets you, gives your monsters in the zones linked to it, like a small attack boost. That's fine. Can be important, right? And then the effect number 2 and number 3 can only be used once per turn. Its second effect, during your opponent's turn, you can discard any card, send any card from your hand to the graveyard to pretty much search one monster from your deck. So this kind of makes Abyssalacia searchable. That's good, but again, the small downside is that this is during your opponent's turn. Its third effect only activates when it's like destroyed by battle or, you know, by an opponent's card effect. You can send, of course, send this card to the grave and then Foolish Burial something from your deck, any monster, and then after that reborn like a Mermail monster from your graveyard. So definitely a solid card, but it's not a card that we might have expected for Mermails, you know, when it's summoned during your own turn, extending your plays, extending your combos like Surge Dragoons or whatever, something like it does now, but during your own turn, right? So it's sadly, quote-unquote sadly, only can fully be used during your opponent's turn. Then again, as I said before, it's something that now you can use, or Mermails have now, that they potentially can end their first turn with, and, you know, extend their combos or extend their plays, or, you know, interrupt your opponent's plays during their turn, like discarding Marksman, Infantry, to pop something from your opponent during their turn. That's something Mermails lacked, but I'm not really sure again if they did need this. The deck list is pretty straightforward. I have two different lists here ready in the video. A lot of hand traps in the main deck, heavily focused on the Tomahawk into double, you know, Firewall Dragon. I believe this is definitely, if not the best version of Mermails. I have like Nimbles with Frogs ready in a couple of videos as well. So let's not waste more time, let's hop into the first example. Okay, first example. So again, a couple of replays again, just showcasing the possibilities and opening. This is like a 3-card combo. Abyssalacia's MVP next to, of course, Dragoons or, you know, your Atlantean Prince. A lot of copies are in your deck, but opening Abyssalacia's with, I believe, Dragoons can possibly lead into this board, and this is at least the combos, at least the first few combos shown here are definitely known. This is nothing new with the Tomahawk, etc., you know, giving you the 4 tokens. The third card coming into play is the Aqua Spirit. Well, it also can be like instant fusion. You just need an extra water monster needed to go, you know, for your Link summon eventually. Go for Bahamut Shark. You know, get an extra search. Megalo, quite important now, thanks to my Firewall Dragon. Get it on board and equip it with the scale, the Mizuzuchi, I believe its name is, to negate any spell or trap. And then, you know, go for the Link summon with the third card needed, which was the Aqua Spirit. Again, this gives me the opportunity to play during my opponent's turn. Thanks to, yeah, my treat on my Totally Awesome, I was able to get back like an Infantry maybe, or in this case, getting back the Dragoons from my graveyard. It's up to you, but, you know, I had the Ghost Ogre in hand. Firewall Dragon was still, at least the middle one, was still live to send something back, so I didn't see any need to get back an Infantry. There is like an Infantry in my graveyard, if I'm not mistaken, but again, that's also an option to get back, right? Another example again, very similar combo, but this only needs 2 cards, and that's opening with Prince and Abyssalacia's. Again, pretty much the same combination, right, with Abyssalacia's being dropped, you know, yeah, the standard Mermail plays, right, going for the Proxy Dragon again, and eventually will upgrade to Decode Talker and, you know, again, Tomahawk to give you again the tokens. Oh man, that's so busted during Link format, and especially if you have access to multiple Firewall Dragons. do again get those uses, get back like double dragoons. That's again so disgusting. Go for Link Spider, get the two mutual links indeed, so get back double dragoons, eventually drop them to my side of the field. You can go for Bakushka if you play something like Spirals, but going for Bahamut Shark. Again, make your Molten Glacier alive. So this is again still 2 cards only needed, only 2 cards. Instead of going for Aqua Spirit, I went for Molten Glacier. Since again I had the option by having 5 cards, you know, the opponent discarding 2, etc. And Molten Glacier does sacrifice my next battle phase here, so that's something to keep in mind. You do sacrifice your battle phase here, but again, ripping your opponent from 2 cards and then establish your very nice big board, that's super solid, right? Next example, next replay. Again, against Spirals, I get to start. Again, the hand traps, I think you need to run the hand traps. I'm not really that keen on the frog version or the nimble version or something like it. Okay, you can do some gimmicky Link plays, but I definitely prefer heavily, at least this build, hand traps, etc. You can also definitely play something like evenly matched in the main deck indeed, because as a Mermail player, you don't really want to go first, right? You want to go second and evenly matched in, yeah, pretty much today's format, equalize the score and, you know, get rid of your opponent's field and their possible answers. And that's something that I did not tell yet, but again, hand traps, something like Ash Blossom, a well-timed Ash Blossom can stop this Tomahawk shenanigans. Yeah, but that's the case, right? In this format, Spirals are currently the best deck, still in the TCG, and they're all pretty much also somewhat stopped by hand traps, but again, that doesn't stop Spirals from being the best deck. So as I pretty much every deck, almost every deck, Mermails, at least for this, the Link based deck, yeah, hand traps, definitely a big answer to that, but still, having these kind of plays is definitely disgusting. And still, yeah, now with this new Mermail monster, let's say you get Ash Blossomed or something like that, like before this, maybe your play stopped, but maybe if you have like the second Aqua type, for example, on your side of the field, you can go for that Link Summon again, make some possible plays during your opponent's turn as well. Another example, I'm not really sure what's different compared to the last one, but again, this is, well, yeah, again going for Molten Glacier, right? The opponent start off, not really sure if he was able to establish a bigger board than that, but to each their own. Another example here is, yeah, I've played Nimbles in this, I've also played Grinder Golem as well. The Grinder Golem package here is in the extra deck, so again, feel free to add it in the main deck. You'll see the big add-on of Grinder Golem, for example, in a couple of moments, but for me, I didn't really like the Nimbles, like the Nimble Beaver, for example, the Nimble, what is it? It's not Sunfish, I believe it's Manta, also in the main deck, but again, I'm not really a huge fan of these Nimbles. It's just, you're main decking so many extra monsters to your main deck, and again, I definitely want to, you know, keep the deck count somewhat low and main deck a lot of hand traps. It lets me play during my opponent's turn, stop their play, stop their, you know, establishing their board, so I can possibly OTK them during my own turn. But again, Grinder Golem, just, it's, oh man, Grinder Golem, there's no way that Grinder Golem is going to be at 3 or still going to be at 3 if not banned because of this. You know, we are getting newer Link monsters like the Skull, Link 4 I believe. It's just, okay, Grinder Golem does sacrifice your normal summon, so you can't normal summon during the same turn. But you know, Konami decided to give your Skull Link 4 the addition, or at least the additional effect that you can special summon something from your hands. Must be nice, right? So again, having something like Prince or Swap Frog or whatever, it's up to you again, depending on which 4 cards you drew off of your Skull, and then, yeah, send back 3 cards. So again, pretty much, yeah, like you're getting a new hand, mulligan your whole hand again. Man, it's just every time I make like a deck going into the new format with, you know, all these cards available, it's like maybe I should add in Grinder Golem because of this, right? Go for the Skull, 4 cards, send back 3. That's not fun, right? But yeah, I believe Grinder Golem, yeah, it's definitely an option here in this kind of particular replay, and also in the previous replays it wasn't there. Since, you know, Grinder Golem does have the disadvantage that it needs some extra space, extra monsters in your extra deck. So again, that's something to keep in mind. The opponent starts off, no Fairy Tail this time, so I can do my plays uninterrupted, but again, guys, keep in mind, hand traps, I know a lot of people are saying like, man, maybe hand traps take this deck apart, or, you know, but yeah, okay, I can like squeeze in a couple of replays where, you know, the opponent starts off, establishes this big board with multiple strikes, hand traps, and then I at least try to go off, run into the hand traps, and then immediately scoop. That's not fun, and it would also like prolong the video for pretty much no reason, since we know, again, if the Mermail deck has to battle it out, like any OTK oriented deck has to battle it out against a lot of destruction, disruption, like hand traps, like strike, it's going to have a hard time. But again, that's one of the reasons why I don't include those replays in this. Totally awesome, again, pretty much the same, right? I had to play around those destruction effects of Minerva and the monster reincarnation effect of the Link Lightsworn monster. Thanks to my Mulling Glacier, I was able to do that. Not really sure, I think I don't have a battle phase here. Yeah, I think so. But again, whatever, right? I have a very nice board here. I eventually sacrifice my toe to go for the Link monster again with infantry, letting me destroy a monster on my opponent's side of the field. So interrupting any monster, right? And then, yeah, the scale equipped also negates a spell card. So, all in all, I prefer this version, like Mermail's, heavily based on the list that topped YCS London last week or 2 weeks ago, especially for the extra deck. But yeah, guys, it's all up to you how you want to add in all the new cards, right? But again, going for the heavily link-based deck, it's just super disgusting how this deck can spam, and now the fact that Mermail's got the extra link monster, it just gives you the extra opportunity to, you know, if the combo is interrupted, make this if you have the opportunity, and, you know, play during your opponent's turn as well. Heavily, at least if I would go to a YCS, I would definitely main deck a multiple struggling battle, evenly matched, you know, going second. The card is very, very nice. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.